morning. All right, we'll do that one more time. Good morning. See, teachers. So it is absolutely my sincere pleasure to welcome you to the College of Education teacher pinning ceremony in person, right? Woo. Yes, it is absolutely a delight to be able to celebrate this with you all in person, but I also want to be sure that I take a moment to welcome and celebrate with those that are joining us online, both your friends and family and colleagues that are here or in the virtual world to support you, but also your peers who, for various reasons, are not able to join us in person, but are joining us online. So welcome to our online and virtual participants, to our observers, but especially welcome to those of you that are with us here in person. We began this tradition in 2018 for several reasons. One, and most importantly, to honor you, our students, our teacher candidates, our next generation of difference makers. You have worked hard, you have learned, you have grown, you have struggled, and you have overcome. In 2020, boy, have you overcome. And for today's graduates, this is more true than ever before. You have truly persevered through one of the most unusual, unexpected, unpredictable, and certainly challenging seasons that our world, and especially our teachers, have ever faced. Today, you have reached a milestone, the step that moves you from being a student to a teacher. And in just a few minutes, you will recite the College of Education Teacher's Oath, committing out loud to yourself, to your peers, to your faculty, the responsibility that comes with being a Sam Houston State University teacher. The oath reflects your commitment to this noble and meaningful career choice. So today is a day worth celebrating because you are worth celebrating. We are here today to recognize this accomplishment, to tell you how proud we are of you, and to celebrate this transition. Well done, and congratulations. Our second reason for being here today, though, is to also celebrate and honor the career that you have chosen. The need for dedicated, high-quality, excellent teachers of every type has never been greater. Today's students need you. They need you like they have never needed their teachers before. They need and they deserve the very best teachers possible. The pin that you received today includes the Sam Houston State University official SH logo, because you proudly will not just be a teacher, you will be a Sam Houston State University teacher, and that's special. The very best that Texas has to offer its teacher candidates. It does make you special. Your pin also, however, is in the shape of a starfish, and I want to tell you why. In 2017, our college began what we call the Starfish Project in response to helping meet the needs of students who were suffering from Hurricane Harvey. Little did we know in 2020 that we would have an entirely new perspective on how important it is for us to support one another. Not that differently than a hurricane, the pandemic has caused great loss and great need. And the College of Education family, including you, have worked together to meet those needs at every possible level, including financial, academic, and emotional support for one another and for yourselves. The Starfish Project is named for the story that you've probably heard before. And in the story, a small child is walking along a beach after the tide has gone out, and the beach is littered with starfish, all laid out on the beach that have washed up in the tide. And as the child is walking along, she picks up starfish and she tosses them back into the ocean. And a bystander comes along and then he asks what she's doing, and she tells him. And he looks at her and he says, "What are you doing? Do you not see all these starfish? How do you think you're ever going to make a difference?" And she picks up the next starfish and she tosses it back in the ocean. And she looks at him and she says, "I made a difference to that one." And that's who you are moving forward. That's who you are. You are a difference maker. You are a teacher, and you are a Sam Houston State University teacher. So your College of Education pin is in the shape of a starfish to always remind you of how much teachers make a difference. They make a difference every single day, and they make a difference in perhaps the most powerful way possible. They impact students. They impact lives. They impact the future of our schools, the future of our communities, the future indeed of our country and of our world. They are, without exception, impacted by teachers. So starting today, you are a teacher, and we celebrate the profession and the career choice that you have made to be part of that difference making in this pinning ceremony. I keep a quote on my desk, and I do literally keep a quote on my desk that I received as a gift when I started my teaching career almost 30 years ago, and we won't talk about that part. But it is worn, and it's tattered, and it literally is falling apart, and I have a little clip at the top to hold it together, but I will never get rid of it because it reminds me of how important the job is that you do and that we do. And what that plaque says is 100 years from now, it will not matter how much money I have made, what kind of car I drive, or how big a house I live in. But the world may be a better place because I made a difference in the life of a child. You will make a difference. You will impact children. You will change the world. And you will matter every single day. The Starfish legacy continues because of you and because of the career choice you have made. Thank you, not just from me, but from the entire College of Education and from the students that you will soon impact for the rest of their lives. So thank you for choosing to be a Bearcat teacher. And always remember that your job, your calling, is to make a difference to one and to many every single day. Starting today, you are a teacher. Congratulations. Each teacher pinning ceremony includes words of wisdom from one of our more recent College of Education alumni who's in the early stages of his or her teaching career. It is my pleasure to introduce today this year's speaker, Ms. Chastity McFarland, who graduated cum laude from the College of Education in 2017. Chastity is in her 4th year of teaching and is currently a 3rd grade reading, language arts, and social studies in Houston ISD at the Rice School. She's also completing her master's degree in administration. So if you will please join me in welcoming on the screen Ms. Chastity McFarland.
Congratulations, you did it. You have made it through our wonderful program, and you did it. You are about to walk into your career, walk into your dream jobs. But I did want to stop by and, give a few pointers. So first, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and know that everything is going to be okay. I promise everything is going to be okay. Take a deep breath. I know exactly how you are feeling. All of the emotions, okay? You're excited because you graduated, but you're also kind of anxious because you're stepping into the unknown, You've gone through things, we've practiced, and everything our wonderful program had us to do to prepare us to be classroom teachers, but you just don't know. And a big word that's throughout my district this year is flexibility. As I mentioned, things change on a daily basis. Or I have planned this wonderful lesson plan. I mean, wonderful. And it didn't go how I planned. Okay? So being flexible and knowing that if I didn't get through my lesson, I can finish tomorrow, pick up where I left off. The kids don't know, but you know. Okay, so, and they are resilient. And so they'll love you regardless. So just flexibility all around, especially as we go forth in education. Everyone's just kind of, navigating and finding what's working best. So it's okay. And then the last nugget I'm going to leave you with is self-care. Now, this was a big one for me. This is my 4th year, and I'm just now learning this. But self-care, setting those boundaries is necessary. But as you will find out, teaching, it never stops. In the morning, after school, during school, texting parents, calling parents, grading, lesson planning, getting ready for the next day. It never stops. However, you do have to set those necessary boundaries because self-care is important. You have to make sure that you're 100% in order to give the kids 100%. So self-care is very, very important. So setting quiet hours on Dojo, or not checking your email after 7 o'clock, or not grading on the weekends, or I'm going to grade 2 hours, or whatever it may be, to make you happy. Make sure that you do it, and make sure you keep yourself a priority, because I had to learn that the hard way. My first 2 years of teaching, I would, just stay at the school till 6, 7 o'clock, trying to figure it out. And I unfortunately got burnt out really quick. But this year, I'm learning to take care of myself, especially in these circumstances. So those were just a few nuggets that I wanted to leave you with. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you, Chastity. Second thing that we do is we always invite a superintendent to give a welcome and to give an address to our graduating teachers. So I am truly honored today to introduce our superintendent speaker, Dr. LaTanya Goffney. Dr. Goffney is superintendent in Aldine ISD, one of the largest and most diverse school districts in Texas. A native of Cold Spring, Texas, she has been a teacher, an assistant principal, a principal, and superintendent in Cold Spring Oakhurst ISD before becoming superintendent in Lufkin ISD and now Aldine. She was honored as the 2017 Superintendent of the Year by the state of Texas. Dr. Goffney is a proud Bearcat alum, having earned all 3 of her degrees, her bachelor's, her master's, and her doctoral degree from the College of Education at Sam Houston State University. So please help me welcome Dr. LaTanya Goffney.
Hello, fellow Bearcats. I am super excited to be a part of your day today. As I stand here and I'm reflecting back over my life, I am so thankful for the opportunities that Sam Houston presented me. And while I'm thankful for Sam Houston, I want you to understand the power of a teacher. You see, when I have friends who call, I always say, I'm living the dream. And the only reason that I get to live the dream is because of educators just like you. You see, I wasn't born on third base. I share this story because I understand that you're going to be in classrooms someday with students who are just like me. My grandmother, she raised me. I tell you, she taught me the value of hard work because she worked as a housekeeper. She actually cleaned toilets for a living and took care of elderly people so that we could have food to eat and a roof over our heads. And what I know for sure is education made the entire difference. Because although I lived in poverty, when I went to school, I had teachers who believed in me, encouraged me, inspired me, and exposed me to possibilities that were beyond anything that I was experiencing at home. And so it's my hope that as you think about right now, this moment, 2020 has not been good. Believe me, it has not, and I understand that. But I want you to take this moment and I want you to make something good out of it because you have real power in your hands right now. Real power. I know you're going to get your diplomas, you're going to get your pens, but most importantly, you're going to get the opportunity to make a difference for so many students. Wow. You talk about living the dream. You guys are dream makers. You're dream creators. And I want you to remember that when you go into the classrooms that you take on. Listen, This work is not easy by far. But who said it was going to be easy? It's certainly not hard either, because when you love what you do, you know you won't have to work a day in your life. And I hope that all of you take advantage of this opportunity and truly think about the difference that you're going to make. You know, if you choose Aldine ISD, one of the questions that I love to ask my new teachers is, which group do you want to be a part of? Those who are students' worst experience or a student's best experience? Because if I were to ask you, who was your best teacher? You know who it was. Mine was Mr. Conley, algebra, but don't tell Mr. Ashley who taught me geometry. If I was to ask you who was your worst teacher, you know who they are as well. And I won't name them, but I remember them. And so I want you to be remembered as the best, because let me tell you, our society, our world, the things that we're facing, the things that we're overcoming, you know where the solution's going to lie? In our classrooms with our teachers who are going to inspire our students and inspire another generation to do the work and to make a difference in this world. I wish that I was in your presence so I could look each of you in your eye and encourage you to take on this opportunity with the fierceness and the ferociousness that encourages people to do better, to live better, and to enjoy better. Because ultimately, seriously, you know, when I think about living the dream and I think about, you know, my grandmother and all of those different things, I want you to think about that as well, because you truly are living the dream. You're living your mother's dream, your grandparents' dream, an ancestor's dream, or someone's dream. And so I also want you to remember that there are going to be some tough days. But even on your toughest day, as an educator, you don't really get to have a real bad day, because even on your worst day, you're still going to be some child's best hope. Congratulations. I am very proud of you. Honored to call you alumni and fellow Bearcat, and I'm wishing you much success for a terrific future.
Thank you to Dr. Goffney. She's quite an inspiration, and like she said, you are the next generation of difference makers, and you are your students' very best hope. And what an amazing opportunity that is, and we are so excited for you to represent that from Sam Houston State University. At this time, I am so excited to introduce to you Dr. Kathy Adair, who is going to lead the pinning part of our ceremony today.
Hello, everybody. At this time, I'd like to invite the faculty forward to their positions for the pinning of the candidates. Candidates, the marshals will usher you to the front of the room in small groups to receive your pin. Please remain social distanced throughout the process as you come forward to accept your pin. You will face the camera, and faculty will drape your pinned stole over your shoulders from behind. For those of you joining us virtually, I hope that you're each wearing your blue stole that you received in the mail. Your pin will be placed on your stole by the person you have standing with you today. Please be patient. There will be a special time for your group to stand together and perform the pinning. Marshals? Faculty, you may pin the candidates. Congratulations, you are Bearcat teachers. Faculty, you may pin the candidates. Congratulations, you are Bearcat teachers. Faculty, you may pin the candidates. Congratulations, you are Bearcat teachers. Faculty, you may pin the candidates. Congratulations, you are Bearcat teachers. Faculty, you may pin the candidates. Congratulations, you are Bearcat teachers. Faculty, you may pin the candidates. Congratulations, you are Bearcat teachers. Faculty, you may pin the candidates. Congratulations, you are Bearcat teachers. Candidates, for those of you who are joining us virtually, please stand with your biggest supporter at this time. Biggest and best supporter, please pin your candidate. Congratulations, you are a Bearcat teacher. Thank you, faculty. Again, congratulations, Bearcats. We're so proud of you. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Jana Niren, our Associate Dean for Planning and Assessment and Interim Chair for the School of Teaching and Learning. Dr. Niren will lead us in the College of Education Bearcat Teacher Oath.
Congratulations, didn't that feel good? We're all so quiet and somber, but that was a really celebratory moment. I want you to give yourselves another round of applause. So if you would please stand and join me, we are going to recite the Bearcat Teacher Oath together. The words are on the screen. For those of you that are joining us virtually, please also stand and join with us as we recite the Bearcat Teacher Oath. Let's do that together now. I am dedicated to serving others through teaching. I am committed to inspiring the minds of the future. I will strive to create opportunities for others' success. I believe that a quality education is founded upon research, is culturally responsive, and is ethically sound. As a Bearcat teacher, I will use my abilities to make a positive impact on the world. I am a lifelong learner. I am a leader. I am a difference maker. I am an educator. I am a Sam Houston teacher. Congratulations.
Please be seated. So here you are, in person and attending virtually. You're masked and sanitized and socially distanced and now pinned as new Bearcat teachers. It's been a pretty smooth semester. You survived a 6-hour orientation by Zoom. Some of you were told, no, you can't come to campus yet. And somehow, you still managed to find a way to teach. Many of your university supervisors were not allowed to come to campus to support you in person, and yet you still found a way to teach. A few mentor teachers fell apart in front of you, or your observation videos wouldn't load, and yet you still kept on teaching. Quite a few of you contracted COVID. Some of your mentor teachers came down with COVID. Some of your roommates came down with COVID, and some of your students came down with COVID, and yet you still kept teaching. A couple of you had a hospital stay. 4 of you had babies. A couple of you got married, and yet you still kept teaching. 1 or 2 of you lost a family member or a friend, but you picked yourself up and you still kept teaching. 1 or 2 of you, actually all of you probably, weren't allowed to hug your students or shake hands with them, but you still kept teaching and you still built relationships. Some of your mentors didn't complete their paperwork, and many of your mentor teachers did complete their paperwork. You fought the TK20 gods, and you won. You taught in person, you taught online, you taught in person and online, all at the same time. And over 200 of you successfully completed your student teaching semester, your year-long residency program, or your Ed Aid program. And during the worst pandemic in the history of the United States. You've made us so very proud. As you go on to become full-fledged teachers, I'd like to leave you with one of my favorite quotes from Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Yep, it was a smooth semester. And do you know why? Because nothing can stop a Bearcat teacher. I'm so proud. We hope to see you at the car parade at 4:30 this afternoon to continue the celebration. As a reminder, you will line up in the parking lot between the TEC and the intramural fields and follow the lead car. There will be photo ops galore. And as we dismiss today, I would like you to please remain at your seat. The marshals will dismiss you in small groups to the back tables to pick up your parting gifts on your way out. We do ask that when you get your gifts, you exit the ballroom and the LSC before celebrating with any family or friends outside on the plaza. And I want to thank you so, so much for joining us today. Thank you.